And now it's time for Modest Farm, with guest appearances from Ink Horse, Clay Duck and Paper Pig, Earth Bird, and of course Wire Chicken, hosted by our dear friend Farmer Layla. Have a marvelous time.
Hello, my name is Farmer Layla and welcome to Modest Farm. Today we will be making a chicken out of wire. You don't need much to make a chicken out of wire. All you need is some wire, some scissors, and also some pliers. First, I'm going to show you how pliers work. So, I'm going to take my piece of wire here and use the front part of your pliers, the very front part, if you want to twist your piece of wire. And like so, twist it just like this. Now, if you want to cut a piece of your wire, then just take the blades and cut the piece of wire. So, now to start with the chicken, you will need a whole piece of black wire, a whole piece of white wire, and just a little bit of black wire. So first, you'll need to take this big piece of black wire and cut it so that several inches of the wire have been cut off. You don't really need to care about how much wire you really cut off, because your chicken doesn't have to be one certain size. So, cut your piece of wire. I'm gonna cut it a little more. So, first you want to make a teardrop shape with a piece of your wire. Next, you want to take the front part of your pliers and twist it. Be sure to twist it very well so that it's nice and secure and so that it doesn't come apart later. Just like this. Next, you want to take another piece of your wire and you want to run it through the middle of your teardrop shape. You don't really need to use your pliers for this part, just take your fingers and twist it around the bottom part of the teardrop. Then, do it the same thing on the other side so that there's just a nice line in the middle. Now, you want to take your white piece of wire and you are going to weave in and out of the line through your teardrop shape. So we'll just leave it at this length for now. And if there's extra wire, then we can always cut it. So you want to start going under the bottom piece, over the middle piece, and then again under the top piece. Then bring it through, and you want to, now this time, you want to go over the top piece, under the middle piece, and over the bottom piece. So it's kind of like an under, over, under, over, under pattern. You want to pull it through, then again, under, over, under. And just continue to do so until you reach the end. Now, once you've finished and this little loop can be fixed, you're going to want to tighten the wire so that the edges cling tight to the sides of the teardrop shape. And you can also kind of widen your teardrop shape so that it accustoms the white wire. Then you want to tightly and securely twist the ends of your white wire, and you want to make sure that they're very nice and secure, just like this. Then we can cut the extra little piece off. And then do the same thing on the other side. Twist it several times. And once it seems securely twisted, you can cut it. Just like that. Now, lengthen your teardrop shape a little bit if the wires, there's several loops that are a couple inches or centimeters higher than they should be, just like this. And you've got a nice body and head for your chicken. So, next, what you want to do is kind of take the bottom part of your teardrop shape and shape it into a little bit of an oval. Now, if the wire kind of bunches up like this, there's just a little extra. You can always just undo this white wire and tighten it a little bit. Maybe even add a couple extra little rows of weaving. Just like this. So you want to expand this entire part and then take this out, and the part you want to tighten, you'll just go, you'll kind of squeeze it in so that it resembles like a head, and you'll take out some of the pieces and make it a bit narrower. Just like that. And then you can again twist it around. And there you go. You've got a little head and a body. just expand near the tail area. And that is the entire head and body of your chicken. Now we will be focusing on the tail area. So this twisted end of the wire, if there's a couple ends here and here that are kind of sticking out and they're not twisted in enough, try twisting them in a little more, and this will be one of our tail feathers. So next, you want to take maybe some smaller pieces of wire, some thinner wire, and you want to cut off a little piece. I'd say probably about this long. And you can always adjust it if it's too long or too short. That's right, don't be afraid to make adjustments if something doesn't work out. Now, you're gonna make a tail feather. Right here, you're gonna bring the piece of wire under one side of this twisted piece, and you're gonna curl it around. You're gonna take the top side of your pliers, and you are going to twist it, just like that. Now, if this is a little too long or uneven, then cut some of it off and try tightening it a little around the tail area right here. Just like that. Next, you're going to take another piece of this wire, just about the same length as the top tail feather, and you're going to want to cut a little piece of that. Next, this time you'll take it under the twisted piece of wire to make a third tail feather on the other side. You're going to follow the same exact steps that we used for the top tail feather. So, you're going to use the front part of your wire and twist the tail so that it makes the bottom tail feather. So, this is what your chicken is going to look like. It does not have to look exactly like mine. See, mine's not perfect either, but it still is gonna look great. So, I'm gonna tighten this little tail feather because I notice it's kind of sliding around. Anytime you notice something's a little loose, you're just gonna wanna tighten it, get it a little more secure. Just like that. And then, there you've got your tail. Next, a chicken wouldn't be a chicken if it didn't have a comb, which is the little red piece on its head. So, what you're going to do is you're going to take a pink or red piece of wire and you are going to cut a little piece of this, and it's going to be a couple inches long, and you just remember you can always cut it if it's too long, and you can always replace your piece if it's too short. Yeah, this one's a little tough. There we go. Now you're gonna twist the red wire just around what is going to be the chicken's head. And you're going to create 3 little loops. So you're gonna make just a tiny little loop right here, and then another loop here, and then another little loop right here, so that your chicken has a little comb. Just like that. Next, we're going to be putting on a beak. So, you're going to get a piece of yellow wire, and you're going to want to cut it just a couple inches long. You're going to take your little piece of yellow wire, and you're going to twist it around the chicken, just below the front part of its comb. You're going to take your pliers, and you're going to twist the yellow so that it looks like a beak. Just like that. Now, a chicken would look kind of goofy with 2 little pieces of extra wire sticking off. So you're going to cut the extra pieces and maybe even trim some of your twisted wire if it still looks really long. Just like that. And there's your beak. Now that our beak is done, we're going to make the feet. So, you're going to take a little piece of your yellow wire and just cut a couple of inches off of it. It doesn't have to be exact. Next, you're going to find a bottom part of your chicken, maybe even on a loop so the feet don't slide around. And you're going to fold them in half and twist them. Just like that. And then cut off any excess pieces of wire. There you go. Your chicken's got little pieces of feet. Now, the feet are pretty much the final part of your chicken. So you're basically done. Just adjust a couple pieces of wire that are too long or too short, and you're done. The next step, now that you're finished, is naming your chicken. It can be something super silly, it could be a fancy name, it could be any kind of name. I named my chicken Rainy because I have one at home that looks just like her. And then, before we leave, I made another chicken. Here are the 2 in comparison. This one's name is Pecky, and this is Rainy. And these are my 2 chickens that I made today. Thank you for coming to Modest Farm. I hope you had a good time making this with me, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.